This is an overview of my sandbox that I created for this course, the Innovative Educators course that I'm taking to make an online course. First off, bottom line up front, I have not made a seated course through the dashboard yet, so I don't have anything to flip onto an online course. So everything that you see here is me prepping for English 101 that I'll be teaching here in a few weeks. So the dashboard, I come down here to the sandbox, I click on it. I've already changed the picture, as you can see there. Comes up to the home screen, and utilizing the rubric and understanding by design, I've created this and modified what I was giving so that the students understand that it's English 101, English composition. I've chosen to keep the pictures of the campuses here. Welcome to English 101. I've given a brief information or update about what the class is. I've talked about the sessions, the 16-week course starting 18 August and running through December 11th. It's on. I did this in as if it was an online class, so there you can see that it says online, no in-person classes. Contacting me, I put it on a short way to contact me. Email is fine, but I also said to call. My office hours, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Here's the required course materials for this, Back to the Lake 5th edition and Vocab by Crowder College English Department. Navigation tips, it's also over here, but I also put the icons down here and linked them each. So course overview, if you click this, it'll go to this one. It'll go to where this is linked also. So we'll just go through real quick on each one of these. Course overview, and reading the rubric here. It's students should be able to view the course and make sure it aligns with the study of understanding by design. It does provide a general overview of the course learning objectives, expectations, and grading scheme. So here's a very brief overview of what English 101 is. Here's the course learning objectives, expectations, and suggestions, and then the grading scheme. This is meeting this requirement here so that students know exactly what they can expect from English 101. The next button. Instructor contact information. This is how they can contact me. The subject line of the email that I would like for students to use, and the reason for that is if I get a lot of emails from students, I'd like to know their name, what course they're in, and what section they're in, and then what the question is. I've found that in previous teaching jobs at high school and OTC, I would get stuff like, I missed class on Thursday, and I don't know who this is. Sometimes it's from an outside email, Gmail, Hotmail, whatever the case is. I don't know who it is. If I don't know who it is, I'm not gonna open up the email. So this is why I requested the subject line include that. I put down, make sure the appropriate word choice, tone, address to the email they're sending to me, how I wish to be addressed, and then how long it'll take for me to respond. Instructor information. So for the instructor information page, it aligns with UPD, sorry about that. The instructor information page includes my name and title, appropriate pictures, email address, preferred phone number, available office hours, and mini biography. I didn't put it in that order, I put it in this order. You can see the appropriate pictures up here, picture of me, and me. Here's my daughters, Emily and Lily. This is when I was on my wedding day, and then when I was a naval officer. And this biography explains what that is. When I graduated from high school, how long I was in the military before I started teaching, what I did when I got out of the military, um, where I've worked since the military, English at Gibson Tech Center down in Reed Spring, Missouri for 4 years, English 101 and 102 at OTC up there in Nixa. Worked at BKD for 2 years as a proposal writer and almost 4 years at O'Reilly as a tech writer before I came here. A little bit about my family, my four-legged families, which is 2 pugs and a Labrador Retriever, favorite author, favorite music group, and my one true addiction, which is coffee. Contact information, and it mirrors what I just showed you, a previous slide. My office hours for 2025, Monday and Wednesday, only 1 hour because I'm teaching most of the time during Monday and Wednesday. Tuesday and Thursdays, 8 to 3, with the exception of that hour block that I have for teaching 109. Here's my phone number, email address, and I've already gone over the way to address the email when you're sending it to me. Let's go down here to module. We'll just go back to home and I'll just go through real quick. I'll come back to modules in a minute, but student resources. This is resources that the student can use. The library icon links you to Lee Library. This information. And then IT technical support. Important for students if they have problems with their IT. So modules, I have it linked here. Click on the module. And I created my modules so that they would align with ongoing study of UBD. I've created 3 modules, and they are organized and named the modules. The naming system follows consistent naming conventions and includes headers. So that's the engage, the headers use the 5 E's: engage, explore, expand, evaluate, and extend. And that's the same way for all the modules. Module 1, 2, 3. I have this module up here that doesn't really meet up with the 5 E's, but it's important. Course overview, instructor information, pretest, course question boards, and then I have the EOC video, this video, which is not going to be published, and I'll delete that. But I wanted to point out that I do have some things in here that aren't published, but they are there in case I need it. And this is my convention for adding information. I can move it around, I can change it, I can drag it up here, change the name, numbering, what have you if I need it. But for the most part, all the modules, all 3 of them that I've done, like I said, use the 5 E's: engage, explore, expand, evaluate, and extend. The overview. So this is the first E that we are coming up on. And these overviews, well, I should go back and tell you that the modules, I've named them all the same way. Module 1, week 1, 2, 3, whatever. I've also put the name or the dates that the week is, and this is Monday through Friday, 18 through 22 August. I thought that was important in case a student in the middle of October goes, hey, what week am I in? What module am I in? They can just go down and say, okay, well, here I am at the 1st of September. That's week 3. So that's why I named them like that. They're all consistently named. Overview. So the overview, it follows basically what I learned in the Sandbox, or the course I was taking to build this. The overview for the week simply tells what we're going to do during that week. It's an overview. institutional learning outcomes and course competencies down here, and then a to-do list, and I've got it linked each one of these to the appropriate areas, so that instead of having to go over here and find the page, they can just go simply course syllabus. Simple and easy, and it's linked right here. And I've done that from week 1, week 2, exact same thing, exact same mindset, reasoning behind it. And I've done that for week 3. Same thing, same exact same. Next thing after the overview, we have the explore and the expand and evaluate. The explore on week 1, we're talking about academic paragraphs and sentences. I'll go ahead and click that. I'm coming up here. Here's the information that I've came up with, appropriate picture, information for the different areas, basic rules, elements of paragraph, sentence structure, 4 types of sentence. Simple as far as that goes. And I've done that for all the other weeks as well. Week 1, I've got it numbered here, 1.1, 1.2, so that if I needed to go any deeper in here, I could do 1.2.1, 1.2.2, but I didn't have any need for that for this class. So these are the numbering as far as I've got them right here. Here's another one that we're going to talk about on week 1. And again, since this is online, I don't have it set up between, okay, we're going to do this on Monday, we're going to do this on Wednesday. It's all just 1 week. And again, I've got this right here. I've got information I pulled. I've cited it so they know it's not AI. It's not just plagiarized. I put the sources here for this information, for this emails. And this is a grammar and vocabulary introduction. We don't have a quiz this week over this, but we will start quizzes in week 2. So this is an introduction as far as what we're talking about here. Simple as far as that goes. Expand. What I've done here is this is to complete with the discussions. And the discussions have been numbered and named appropriately to follow a consistent structure of the modules. The discussion prompts have been written with those strategies, the 7 ways to test. I mean, if you can't answer in 7 different ways, it shouldn't be there. And it's evidenced in here. So let's talk about growth and mindset discussion. For this one, I have a video. I'm engaging the students using Epic and Interactive. This video is a YouTube. It's about 5 to 7 minutes long. And I have a discussion with this. With the discussion, I've put down that it's worth 7 points. You have 5 points for actually responding to the questions that I've down here, these 5 questions, and also 3 points to respond to one of your classmates' responses. I put down key items key differences between the 2 mindsets, between growth mindset and fixed mindset, so that they know what to kind of key in on the assignment or watching it. I put down when it's available, when it won't be available, and when it's due. Simple as far as that goes. Again, that's the discussion portion of it. And since this is online, I have one that I thought about putting in here, but maybe I'll keep it, maybe I won't. But the key point is it's not published yet. So that's why it's not numbered and accordant with this. It's got a placeholder for it, but not so much yet. Evaluate. So the paragraph email I have for the evaluate to see if they've learned what they needed to. Paragraph, and it's a simple paragraph as far as what they need to do to see if they've taken what on board, what I've taught with the email and the paragraph assignments. Here is the 5 sentences I require in 3 bullet statements. The instructions are pretty simple as far as this goes. I have a rubric down for this. It's worth 10 points. It's submitting on paper, and I explained even though it's paper, it's a Word document, so it's not going to be on paper. It's going to be attached to the email, and how they can expect to see the rubric and how they can expect to be graded. And I gave them an example of the paragraph from my point of view. If I wrote this as a incoming freshman right out of high school, doing this is how it would look. And these are all true statements. So by week 1, email quiz, and this is the quiz after you send the email to your instructor. And this quiz here, it follows it. It's pretty simple, straightforward when you're building the quizzes online. It's hard to screw it up. But points right up here, the name of it, displayed as points, who is it assigned to, when its due date is, when it's available, and until. And again, I set this class up with it being in mind of a 16-week class in the fall, but since I'm working on this in the summer, the dates don't really match up, but I can talk to whomever I need to explain this further. But I understand the dates, due date, available date, and until date. And then for the quizzes, I tried to use, like the assignment said, have 3 different types of questions. Some of my quizzes, some of my tests have more than 5 questions. Some of them have 5 questions. Some of them have 4 or 5 different types of questions. Some of them only have 3 different types of questions. But I've got it right down here. Here's an essay, and it's pretty simple. They won't get it graded until I look at it and grade it myself. But an essay, what salutation did you use for your email instructor, to email your instructor? Here's another one. What did you put in your subject line? There's no real other good way to do this other than essay questions. Here's a true-false one. Simple and easy as far as that goes. Here's a fill in the blank. And then finally a multiple answer. And this is all from the information that was provided. And these quizzes are appropriate. The points, the due dates, the groups, the quizzes have been numbered and named appropriately, and they follow consistent structure in the module. At least 3 different question types have been used for each quiz. The language used within the question is clear and understandable, and the student answer options align with question stems appropriately. The wrap-up portion of it, and I did this for all of them, obviously, for all of them. Wrap-up is basically looking ahead, extending out what you can. I put appropriate pictures in here, and I kept these pictures the same for all of them because while I wanted to engage with a picture, I didn't want a new picture for each one of these. So wrap up what we did during the week. And I explained to the student that feel free to look ahead of the canvas. If it's open, they should be able to look at it. And looking ahead, the picture is appropriate to what we're talking about. This commercial tanker officer at the deck is looking over the horizon. He's looking ahead to what's going on. It's simple as far as that goes. So that's Module 1. Module 2, again, naming convention, Module 2, week 2, and then the dates that we are attending. Again, Monday through Friday. Engage. We're engaging what we're going to do, the to-do list. Once you have all this stuff done, you're good to go for the week. I put down due dates, when it's due. The next portion, 2.2, the actual class itself, the information in there. Rhetorical modes. And again, this is all within the framework of building it out, exploring, engaging, expanding. We have the discussion, rhetorical modes discussion. 25-word response for each one of these, and this is 7 points, and then 3 points for responding to at least one of the classmates. And you can see that I've numbered them in accordance with convention. Evaluation, we have a quiz. The first vocabulary quiz. It's simple and easy as far as that goes. They take it. Here's the instructions, and this was the bank quiz that was already built. So these instructions are from the bank quiz. It can't be, once you've started, it can't be stopped. You can't take it again. Shuffle answers. 12 minutes to do this. I think that's more than enough time for this quiz. We have a rhetoric and rhetorical mode quiz. And again, I built this quiz. I made sure that I had a variety of different questions, and from one quiz to the next, I wanted to make sure I had different types of questions also. So if you remember back on the first quiz, I did not have a matching question, but I do here. Simple. True, false, fill in the blank, multiple answer, multiple choice. Those are my options for this quiz for this module. Come down here to week 3. And again, the wrap up is the same for this course, this module as it was for the other ones. The picture the same information. And my rationale behind this is for the opening page and the bottom page, when you're just starting out and when you're just finishing up a module, they should be the same thing. There should be nothing that throws a student off. It should look exactly the same with the exception of the information, and that's what I've done here. Let's go down here to module 3. This is the third module I've done. And again, aiming is the same. Engage, explore, expand, evaluate, extend. The engage and the extend are the same from week to week with the exception of the actual information in there. The layouts, the pictures, the icons are exactly the same. Simple. And again, I've done the, I hyperlinked what needed to be done. Now this week it's a little shorter because if you look at the schedule for the fall 2025, week 3 has Labor Day. So there's not as much in there because it's only a 1 class day week as opposed to 2 like normal. So this is going to be a little bit shorter. But your icons, your overview, or institutional learning outcome course competencies and to list are the same. Your Explore Quiz 1 discussion, this is what happens the week after. Hey, you did a quiz last week. We're going to discuss about this, the matching, the anti, is before, the and is year, the an, not, without. It's not the articles, it's different. So that's the information there. Memoir introduction. We're starting introductions into memoirs, and since this was a shorter week, I have assigned reading to them. These are all hyperlinked to the appropriate article. Shooting an elephant. I've read this when I was an undergraduate. I think it's important. It also fills my need to share my love of Orwell with folks. Jesus Shaves by David Sedaris. It's classic David Sedaris. If you've read it, you know what it looks like. It's just a real short article, or short memoir, I should say. And then I have one on Suicide Circle. It's in the book, back to the Lake 5th edition. That's why it's not hyperlinked, but I have the pages here that they need to look at. Evaluate vocabulary quiz. This is a sorry about that. Vocabulary quiz number 2. It's a bank quiz, so it's just already pre-built. And again, extending, looking up, looking ahead, it's the same information. Content is different. So there's my my Sandbox course. We've talked about the course overview, the instructor information, modules, student resources. I will say this, that the way I originally had it and what I've seen is student resources up here at the top and Canvas overview at the top. I've moved these down at the bottom. I think it makes more sense to have those at the bottom and have student information here at the top. If I'm told to move it back, I will. I'm not married to that. I just thought it made more sense. So we talked about various items in here and how I followed the information, how I've set it up effectively to go over the understanding by design. I've made sure the course overviews align with ongoing study and provides learning objectives, expectation, and grading scheme. I provided an instructor information page that aligns with ongoing study of UBD, and provided pictures, a brief bio, email, preferred telephone number, available office hours. I've done 2 to 3 modules. I did 3 modules to be exact, and I've followed the naming system convention consistently, and the headers of the 5 E's, which engage, explore, expand, evaluate, and extend. The overview and to-do list are there, and they are following name conventions, and along with the module presentations and outcome learning and the discussions. I've also covered the completed assignments and the quizzes, what I've done with the quizzes as far as different types of questions, and those are the assessments, and then wrapping up and looking ahead. This is all on the YouTube page. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I am looking forward to working for Crowder this year, and the Sandbox class that I did was one of the most helpful online classes I've taken. I did not feel the need to multitask like I do with a lot of other online classes that are boring, and this wasn't boring. It caught my attention. It was information that was needed, and I found it interesting. So that's not to say that for any other reason than to provide a little feedback on the course itself. And I think this has helped me out more than like a lot of classes I took in MSU when I was doing my MAT. So thank you.